again, Talk to Me Tuesdays. It's Liza. I'm here for my second Talk to Me Tuesday. Ooh, 2 weeks in a row. For me, that's a big accomplishment. So this week, couple things. First thing I want to say is if you guys tried to watch my Talk to Me Tuesday video last week, my very first one, and it didn't work out for you, that is totally fixed now. It was a glitch with YouTube. It didn't download the video right or something, so I just had to re-upload it and everything. But I've corrected it on the Talk to Me Tuesday page, so if you want to go back and look at that one, please do. You can see some of the crafts there that I talked about that you could hear about but not see. So that is all fixed now. Now, as for the crafty goodness this week, it really wasn't a very productive week for me. I had a lot of personal things that needed to be taken care of. Going to the DMV, taking up an entire day, being one of them. It's amazing how awful that experience can be. But yeah, so I've had several personal things that I needed to take care of this past week, and unfortunately haven't been able to have as much time to craft. But I did get a few things accomplished. Right now I am currently working on a cathedral window quilting project. It is not a quilt. That would take me forever. But it is a project that I began actually back probably about October or November of last year, and basically didn't get that finished because for my brother-in-law I was doing the Super Mario Brothers quilt along from the Cut to Pieces blog that was also featured on Fandom and Stitches. So that was his Christmas present, which is still sitting up there waiting to be quilted. I haven't quilted it yet for him, but I did get that finished for him. So near the end of the year last year, I went into full panic mode to get that done, and all my other projects got forgotten. And so this cathedral window project is a project that I'm actually doing for my mother as a gift for her. And I can say all of this because I know she doesn't watch my videos. She looks at my Facebook page and everything, but she doesn't look at YouTube. She doesn't even know what YouTube is, so that's probably a good thing. So I began this project for her and have not been able to finish it. I had hoped to have it done for her birthday in March, but that didn't happen. And then I had hoped to have it for Mother's Day, and that didn't happen. So now that I have a little bit of free time, I'm trying to get that done for her. So this week I got the little individual squares cut, folded, and I've begun piecing them together. And this is all the stuff that I can do on my sewing machine. I'm actually gonna have to, when you put the colors on and everything and you fold the sides down, you actually have to sew that by hand. You can't do that on a sewing machine. It shows a little funky if you do that. So I'm doing everything I can with my machine right now, and I will then move over to hand quilting later. Hand quilting is something that I really haven't done a whole lot of, so it'll be really interesting for me to explore that and to figure that out as I go along. But I have a whole bunch of these 2x2 or 2x1 whole bunch of these 2x1 rows that are going to go together, and my mother is actually a minister, and so I'm making her a stole that she'll be able to wear during worship services, so hopefully she'll really like that. I don't know when she's going to receive it because I don't know when I'm going to finish it, but I'm hoping, since I have some time right now, and like I said, I'm a full-time crafter right now, why not try to get it done? About the only other crafty goodness that I was able to get done this week is the first week of the farmer's market for where I live in Colorado. We have a very short growing season that starts very late in the year compared to a lot of other places. I grew up in the South, so I grew up in Kentucky, and so I'm used to having farmers markets a lot longer that start in like April. beginning of April, so to have a farmer's market that doesn't start till June is very difficult for me because I really like fresh fruits and vegetables and cooking with that. So it's a bit of a challenge to try to figure all of that out, but with the farmer's market starting this week, I decided that I needed a new market bag for myself. I have a lot of reusable bags that you get at the grocery stores and everything, but those aren't fun. Those aren't nice. You know, those are utilitarian, normal. Everyone has them. And so I wanted something a little bit different. And I'm probably going to explore several different options, trying several different things. But for this first try, what I'm going to use is this little crocheted market bag that I made for myself. This was a pattern that I found on a skein of yarn that I had. I have skeins of yarn hidden all over my place, all over my house. I've cut myself off from purchasing yarn. As a matter of fact, it's that bad. I have lots of yarn. So this was just a one-off skein that I had that I knew was probably never going to end up in any any blanket that I made or anything. And when you have just one skein, and I don't even think it was a full skein, I think it was only half a skein. Actually, I think I'd probably used it in another project. So when you have that, it's like, what are you going to do with that? It's just sitting around. So I decided to make a market bag out of it. It's a pattern that I found on some random paper that they wrap the skeins in. I don't even remember what company it's from. I want to say it was probably Sugar and Cream, the little cotton small skeins that you can buy. And it's nice, but the holes on it are a little bit bigger than I thought, which I'm not as fond of. And I don't like the way that they put the handle on. They had you start building the handle in the middle down here. Let's see if I can scoot back a little bit to show you. So it's in the middle down here, and I would have liked the handle to have been switched slightly because it's a little awkward when you're carrying it. When you put it on your arm and you're carrying it, it's a little awkward. So if I was to make it again, I'd probably adjust that and move the handle to the other corners. But other than that, it's a nice bag. It's, like I said, it's probably not something I'm going to use a whole lot. Maybe just when I go to the farmer's market. Because I really only need one bag when I go to the farmer's market, unless it's a really good market day. Yeah, so that was my crafty goodness for this week. Sorry there's not a whole lot. But you gotta do what you gotta do sometimes, and this week everything else won. Bills, DMV, bank, all that fun stuff won over crafty stuff. And this coming week, I know that I'm gonna have a little bit more time, and my phone's ringing. So I guess that means it's time for me to go. I will see you guys next week.